Okay, here it is again with respect to the slant edge. Fine. The slant edge should be on your HP. Fine. Consider this as a slant edge. Okay, this slant edge, it has to be placed on HP like this. What should be your first condition? See, you can look at here. Okay, this is your slant edge. This slant edge should be on your HP. Then which condition it is? It is corner resting. Imagine in this problem if you had given slant triangular face. This is your triangular face. The slant triangular face has to come on HP. Which resting it should be? It should be your edge resting. Okay, based on the second condition, slant edge or slant face, you will be deciding the first condition for this problems. Okay, so here yes, you can go through this. In this case, it is a hexagon pyramid. In this case, it is a hexagon pyramid. Okay, whether it is a slant edge or slant face, it is a slant edge. The second condition is slant edge. That means the first condition should be which one? Corner resting. Okay, so it should be a corner resting. Okay, it is a 40th problem in your PDF. You can just go through that and we'll start directly solving the problem. A hexagon pyramid side 25, height is 50. It is resting on HP with one of the slant edge. Okay, again the third condition remains the same. The axis is inclined at an angle of 45 degrees to your vertical plane. Now we'll start drawing the pentagon, sorry, hexagon pyramid. The side of the hexagon pyramid, base side he has given you as 25. The base side he has given you as 25. Draw the XY line. Here this will be your X, Y, vertical plane, horizontal plane. Okay. The hexagon side which he has given you as how much? 25. Measure 25 in your compass. We'll draw the top view first. Okay. And draw the circle of radius 25. We'll be drawing a circle of radius how much? 25. Okay. So it is a corner resting. So from this point, so from any one of the point, so from this point, cut an arc of 25 on either side. Similarly, from this point, cut an arc of 25 on either side and complete the pentagon. Okay, the radius will be 25. Join it. Join all the arcs so that and complete the pentagon. Okay, do you think this will be the top view of a pentagon pyramid? No, this is the top view of a pentagon prism. How does the pyramid look like when you look from the top view? Okay, in the horizontal plane, you can see the top view of an object. See, when you place a pyramid like this on the horizontal plane, what you can see these slant edges. How many slant edges are there? There are six slant edges are there. So this 6 slant edges should be shown here. Okay, in the final exam, many people will want to just draw like this for a pyramid, but this condition is wrong. The actual top view of a pyramid will look like this. That is from the midpoint to all the 6 corners, it will be thick. All the 6 corners, it will be thick. See. Here, can you see a pyramid like this? See, if you place a pyramid like this, the slant edges are visible for the observer. That is what we have drawn. So it should be thick. Otherwise, it will be a prism. Okay, please remember that for pyramids, you should make the top view as thick. Okay, so the dimensions. Okay, the dimension should be shown like this. Okay, so the dimension is extend the dimension extension line and show this dimension. See, dimensions are very important. You're supposed to show the dimensions also. So this will be 25. Fine. Okay, we'll start marking the points. Let this be point B, A, B, C, D, E, F, and we have the axis here. Here, this is O. So let this be point O, and at the bottom we have this one. Bottom we have O1. So let this be O. In bracket you have O1. Fine. Okay. Now we'll draw the front view. How does the front view look? See, it was the top view was like this. Okay, with respect to the corner resting. Now, if you want to draw the front view, you rotate like this. Okay, can you see? This will be your front view. In the front view, how many slant edges you can see? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 slant edges will be visible. This is your front view of the pyramid. In the top view, it will look like this. The same condition when you rotate like this, the front view will be like a triangle, and 1, 2, 3, 4 slant edges will be visible for the observer. Okay. First, I'll extend the axis. What is the axis height he has given you? The axis height he has given you as 50. In this case, it is 50. It will be a thin and chain line. Draw a thin and chain line of 5 boxes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, from the 4 corners, that is A, B, C, D, extend the projection lines until your XY line. Extend the projection lines until your XY line. Okay. Now, from this corner, complete the front view of your pyramid. This is the first slant edge, second slant edge, okay, third slant edge, fourth slant edge, which is visible for the observer, and complete the base also. Okay, so this is how the front view will look. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 slant edges are visible, front view. We'll mark the points. How do you mark the points? To mark these points here, okay, you will be taking the, will be viewing from the observer, will be looking from this side. When he's looking from this side, A, F, E, and D is visible. Okay, so what will be this point? This will be my A dash, this will be my F dash, and this will be my O1 dash, which is in bracket. Okay, and this will be my E dash, and this will be my D dash. What about B and C? Okay, B and C is behind F and E. Correct? That is why it will be here. You will be getting B dash, which will be in bracket, and after that, next to E dash, you will be having C dash, which is in bracket, and the apex will be O dash. What is the second condition? It's similar to the previous problem. You just have to, okay, this is your front view. Okay, this is your front view. The front view will be like this. What is telling? You just incline this front view. Okay, you just incline this front view until it will be placed one of the slant edge. So it will look like this. The second condition is this one. Okay, the pyramid, the entire pyramid, you are making it to steep on your horizontal plane with respect to one of the slant edge. So similar to that, now we have the point D. Fix the point D. Okay, fix the point D dash. Okay, measure from D dash to O dash, D dash to O dash, and mark the point. This will be your O dash, and similarly measure from D dash to E dash, D dash to A dash. Okay, this will be a D dash to A dash. Again, from O dash to A dash, you measure it. O dash to A dash. So this will be O dash to A dash. Complete the triangle first. You complete the triangle first, and the remaining points can be transferred. Okay, so this will be a point A dash. See, this D dash, we have D dash here, and we have A dash here, and O dash. Complete the triangle. The remaining points will just transfer it. Okay, join, complete the triangle. So now we need each point from D dash to E dash. You measure from D dash to E dash. Okay, you can see that this length and this length is same. So that is why what I'll do is from D dash to E dash one arc I'll cut. Again, similarly, opposite side I'll cut an arc. Okay. So similarly on the opposite side also you cut an arc and complete the one more point. And the remaining point which you need is a midpoint. That is what is your O1 dash. Midpoint is O1 dash. So that is B dash to O1 dash. So you got the 3 points. So this is your which point? This is your point E dash in bracket C dash, and this will be your O1 dash. The last point is F dash in bracket B dash. Join it. This will be thick, and this will also be thick. Okay, and the axis, it is a thin and chain line. It is a thin and chain line. Fine, it is done. Now we'll draw the top view. So similar manner, we are extending the projection lines from the base. Extend the projection lines from the base. Okay, so from the front view, we'll start joining the points. I'll start from the point A dash. So this will be a point A dash. So you just drop the line until it coincides with your A. So this is your point A. Fine. Similarly, come from the point B dash. Okay, B dash. So drop a line. So this is your point B. And similarly, see the F dash is coming from here. So similarly, here you'll be getting F. And the axis, drop a line from the axis also. You will be getting the axis O here. And drop a line from the other point, that is C and E. You'll be getting C and E. This is your point C and this is your point E. And finally D dash. Drop a line from D dash also. So this will be your point D. So you got A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, and you have the axis also, that will be O1 and the apex. Extend the apex also. So this is your point O. Erase the extra lines. Now what you'll be doing is you'll be completing the base. How will it look like in the top view? So first condition was like this. So then what you did, you inclined it like this. So I'm showing you the top view. So now can you see this hexagon? Is it visible for the eye? Okay, this hexagon is visible, right? So that only I'm drawing it here. Okay, after that, since it is a edge resting, how many edges will be visible? 1, 2, 3. Okay, hang on. So it will be a edge resting. Okay, so I think you will be able to see only 3 edges. So once we draw here, you will come to know. First, I'll complete the base hexagon. That is A to B, A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E. So E to F and F to A. Now what you'll be doing? You'll be start joining the longer edges. I'll start from the point A to O. It is passing outside. B to O is also passing outside. F to O, yeah, F to O is also passing outside. So draw this carefully, F to O. Now when you start joining from the point E, you look here, when you start joining from the point E, okay, E to O, see it will cut this edge. So it will touch this edge. Then what will become? It will become dotted. It is a dotted line. Again, you start joining from C to O. Again, this will cut this edge. So that is why this also will be dotted. And which is the last one? D to O. The final slant edge is D to O. It also will be dotted. But you come across this edge. So first you are supposed to give for the visible edge. That is A, O to A is the visible edge. Below that you have D to O. So only this much will be your dotted lines. Okay, only from this point to this point will be your dotted lines. So this is your top view. Again, the third condition says the axis is inclined. When the axis is inclined, what you'll be doing is you'll be finding out the apparent inclination first measure the first height, that is first axis length. The first axis length which was given to you in the problem was 50. So this was the first axis length which was given to you, that was 50. There is a second axis length which you can find out, that is from this point, that is O1 to O is your second axis length. Okay, this is your second axis length. This is your second axis length. Okay, second axis, and this will be your first axis. Okay, now fine. The axis is inclined at an angle of 45 degrees. Similar to the previous problem, just mark the point and draw the 45-degree line. So 45-degree line, you'll be getting it here. Okay, draw the 45-degree line. Then you'll be taking the first axis measurement. This is the first axis measurement, you'll be taking it. Okay, from any one particular point, cut an arc. So this will be a point O, and let this be point O1. And draw the locus. Draw the locus. Now we'll be measuring which length? We'll be measuring the second axis length, that is O to O1, that you can take it from your second condition top view. O to O1. Okay, the O remains same. On the locus, you'll be cutting an arc. So let this be point O1 in bracket. So join this. Join this and extend it back. Join this and extend it back.
52 degrees, sir.
Join it and extend it back and find beta angle, how much you'll be getting it. So it will be same. You'll be getting again how much? The beta angle is 52 degrees. Okay, the angle beta angle will be 52 degrees. Okay, fine. Now we have to just transfer this pentagon here. Okay, you just have to transfer the pentagon here. The same procedure, you can follow the arc method. You already have the point O and you already have the point O1. Okay, on the same line, you'll be having A, and the same line you'll be having D. Okay, first we'll mark point A and D. Okay, extend this line, extend the beta angle line. On the beta angle line, okay, you measure which one? A. O to A you measure, that is O to A. This will be a point A, and similarly you measure O to D and O to D. So this is your point A and this is your point D. Okay, the remaining points will just transfer with by arc method. So what I'll do is I'll measure from O to C. Measure from O to C. That is this from O to C. Okay, and similarly O to E will be same. On the opposite side, you cut an arc. Now you measure from D to C. Measure from D to C and cut an arc on both the sides. So this will be your point C and this will be your point E. Okay. After that, we need B and F. Same thing, same procedure. Measure from O to B. O to B and O to F will be same. O to B and K and O to F. And after that, what you'll be doing? You measure from A to B. Measure from A to B and A to F are same. We have the point A to B and A to F. So this will be a point B and this will be a point F. We got the point A, B, C, D, E and F. Join it. So start joining from A to B. Okay, A to F and D to C, D to E. Okay, and B to C will be a straight line and E to F also will be a straight line. Fine, we have transferred the pentagon. Now you just join it and complete the sketch. Okay, there will be no changes in the hidden lines. Only thing, we have just inclined it. at an angle of 51. Okay, there will be no changes in the hidden lines. Just join it, that's all. Okay, so from C to O will be dotted again. O to E also will be hidden lines, and O to D also is your hidden lines. Okay, that's it. And finish the front view. Okay, finish the front view. So I extend the front view first. Draw the parallel lines carefully, and it should be parallel to one another. Draw the parallel lines. Okay, from the axis you extend it. Okay, the remaining two lines. Extend it from the two lines. The point C, extend it from the point C also. Fine. After extending these lines, now you start from the base. Okay, you start from the base. I'll start from the point number A until it meets A dash in the front view. Extend it until it meets the point A dash in the front view. Okay, B. Okay, extend B until it meets the point B dash in your front view. So this will be a B dash, and after that C dash. Extend C dash until it meets C dash in your front view. And coming to the D, point number D. Okay, extend D dash, sorry, D until it meets the point D dash, and E. Extend E until it coincides with the point E dash in your front view. So this will be a point E dash. F. Extend the point F until it coincides with the point F dash. See, draw a parallel line. If you don't draw a parallel line, you won't get a proper view. Okay, try to draw a parallel line carefully. Okay, so this is your point F in your front view, F dash. And which is the point which is left out? O and O1. Extend O1 until it coincides with the O1 dash in your front view. Extend O1, okay, until it coincides with O1 dash in your front view, and it should not be in bracket. This is your O1 dash, and extend O also. See, the point O dash and O is getting coincided with your XY line. See, the O dash is coming from here, and the point O is coming from here. This will be a point O dash. Now, what you'll be doing is you'll just join the base. That is from the point A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F, and F to A. Done. Finish up the base. The next thing what you'll be doing is the longer edges. Okay, look carefully and start joining from the point A dash to O dash. When you start joining from A dash to O dash, it is passing inside and it will cut this. So then what it will become? It will become hidden and dotted lines. Okay, what about B to O? Same thing. When you start joining from B dash to O dash, okay, it is passing through this hexagon and it will cut this edge. Okay, it will intersect with this edge. So that is why it will become what? Again, that also will be dotted. What about C to O? Again, C to O is also dotted because it will cut this edge. See, whenever when you're drawing the longer edges, if it cuts any one of the edge, okay, that will become dotted. Okay, what about F to O? See, F to O, it is passing outside. E to O is also passing outside, and D to O is also passing outside. And finally, the axis. See, the axis is here. Okay, O dash, O1 dash to O dash. It is a thin and chain line. So this is the final solution for your problem.